Hello, we're looking at Shining Star B, Part 2. The background: The Great Bear is a short play. A play is a story that actors perform in a theater. This play is based on a myth of the Mongol people in the Ordos Desert region of northern China. The myth explains the creation of a constellation, or a group of stars, called Ursa Major. Ursa means bear, and major means great. Ursa Major, the Great Bear. Making connections. So look at the constellation called Ursa Major. There are 7 bright stars that make the Big Dipper. And you can see these at night. You can see this in the sky. The Big Dipper. And they are these 7 stars, the bear's tail and body, part of its body. And a dipper is also called a ladle. Ladle. Like when you have soup and you want to dip in the pot and ladle out the soup. The dipper or ladle. That's pretty messy. Okay. So there's some less bright stars right here that form the head and the legs. And so why do people call this constellation Ursa Major? Because you can see a little nose, right? They use their imagination. Kind of looks like an animal. And I like to say that people came up with the shapes for the constellations and the names before there was TV. They didn't have anything else to do with their time. Okay, so let's look at the vocabulary words. We have adventurers. Say it again. Adventurers. Conquer. Conquer. Contest. Contest. Match. Match. Palace. Palace. Realm. Realm. So let's read through the sentence. First time, listen to me. Second time, say it with me. Adventurers always look for exciting things to do and new places to discover. Adventurers always look for exciting things to do and new places to discover. The king's army is trying to conquer his enemies and end the fighting. The king's army is trying to conquer his enemies and end the fighting. We had a contest to find the fastest swimmer. We had a contest to find the fastest swimmer. The tennis match took more than an hour, but I finally won. And here we're not talking about a match to light a fire. A tennis game is called a tennis match. The tennis match took more than an hour, but I finally won. The Queen's Palace is the largest building in the country. The Queen's Palace is the largest building in the country. The Queen has ruled over her realm for many years. The Queen has ruled over her realm for many years. And the reading strategy: reading plays aloud, out loud, aloud. So reading a play aloud brings the story and the characters to life. It allows the actors, the people performing, and the audience, the people watching, to participate in and enjoy the story. To read a play aloud, follow these steps. 1. Read the list of characters. Choose one person, actor, to be each character. Each actor will speak a character's lines or words. So the words are called their lines. Okay? 2. Read the play to yourself. Pay special attention to your lines. and the stage directions. Stage directions tell actors how to look, move, and speak when they read their lines. Read the play aloud as a group. Listen carefully to the other actors so you know when to say your lines. All right, so I'd like to talk to you about The Great Bear and point out some things to you. Of course, you can listen to the audio and practice reading it with the audio as well. So first of all, it's a play. And plays are usually divided into parts, and the parts are called scenes. So we have scene 1, scene 2. You also hear of acts, right? We'll have acts 1, acts 2, acts 3. Acts or scenes. In Shakespeare, you'll have act 1, scene 1, act 2, scene 2. You'll have different acts and scenes. So acts and scenes divide up the play. Okay, so The Great Bear has 6 scenes. When you read your lines, the words that go to your part, try to sound like the character you're playing. The stage directions will tell you more about your part. Now you read the stage directions silently, not out loud. And you read the play aloud as a small group or class. So let's find those. Where are the stage directions? Okay, so you see right here, see how we have parentheses? So this is a stage direction. It is not read out loud. Right here, these are stage directions. Stage directions. Okay, so the scene starts here. These are the characters. How many characters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a lot of characters. 14. Okay, so if the narrator was saying, long ago in the Ordos desert region of the land we now call China, between the Yellow River, the Huanghe, and the Great Wall of China, 2 young adventurers went hunting. You would read this silently, maybe act it out. They soon met a young man who carried a bow and arrows. And then this person comes onto the stage and looks up at the sky, but we don't say that. What are you doing? This morning I shot a bird flying in heaven, and now I'm waiting for it to fall. So you would hear this, and a bird with arrow and it falls from the sky. That's what happens. So this is telling you the acting that's happening on the stage, okay, and how it's done, but not the actual, these are not the words that you're going to say. You see this? Stage directions. Okay. Another important thing to pay attention to is the literary element. A narrator is a character or speaker who tells a story. Some plays have a narrator who introduces, comments on, and concludes the story. For example, the narrator in The Great Bear introduces the setting and 2 characters at the beginning of the play. Then the narrator tells where the characters go and who they meet. Finally, the narrator concludes the story. And let me point out to all of you, signal words, right? Signal word, signal word. All right. And be sure that you are answering these questions. It does not matter to me where you answer them, as long as you know the answer. What special skills does Sky Shooter have? Great listener, mountain lifter. What skills do each character? What skills does each character have? How does each character act out his or her skill? How about you? Do you know any people with these skills? Explain. Do you have a special skill? If so, what is it? Okay, we're looking at the next page. And again, I want you to pay attention here to the literary element. Stage directions are instructions for the actors in a play. They are usually italicized. Okay? And in parentheses. So they're usually italicized. That means they're written in slanted letters and they're in parentheses. Those are called stage directions. Stage directions tell actors how to talk, how and where to move, and when to enter or exit the stage. What stage directions are on these 2 pages? Okay, so as we look at the 2 pages, I see these stage directions, these stage directions, these stage directions, these. Okay, so those are words that you're not going to say as you go through the play. Those are words that you're going to imagine happening on the stage, or if you're acting it out, that's what you're going to do on the stage. Okay, and before you go on, make sure you have answers to these questions. How does Sea Swallower help the group cross the water? What do the adventurers say they want to do in the Khan City? How about you? Why do you think the Khan wants to test the adventurers? Okay, we're looking at the next page with Scene 3, Scene 4, and Scene 5. Your questions. How do the Khan's warriors try to win the wrestling match? How does the Khan feel about losing the contests? How about you? What do you think will happen next? And we're looking at the last page now. Through Scene 6. Please notice here, this box says about the playwright. A playwright is a person who writes a play. Playwright. It's a special type of author, and her name is Pamela Girk. Says she is the artistic director and playwright for the Kids Action Theater in Seattle, Washington. Since founding the program in 1988, she has written and directed more than 30 children's plays. Girk is also the author of several books about children's theater. So what would we call this? It's about the playwright. It's the author's bio. It's a little mini biography about the author. And before you go on, who saves the adventurers? What happens to the 7 adventurers at the end of the play? How about you? Who is your favorite character in The Great Bear? Explain why. Comprehension. Reread The Great Bear. So hopefully you've listened to it a couple of times and now read it again. Copy the chart into your notebook, or if your workbook has a similar chart, that would be okay. Complete it with information from the story. Who are the adventurers? What special skill does each adventurer